Chapter 4, Winter Spirits Return. Holly and Jack stepped out of the town hall, the chill in the air nipping at their noses. The square was empty, save for the towering Christmas tree and the faint glow of the lodestone tucked safely in Holly's satchel. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept through, carrying with it a flurry of snow and a familiar, eerie whisper. Jack Frost. The voice echoed, crystalline and cold. The winter spirits from their past adventures materialized, their forms shimmering like ice under the moonlight. The tallest among them, a spirit with hair like frost-covered branches, stepped forward. "We have come to claim our place in Merry Hollow." Jack moved swiftly, positioning himself between the spirits and Holly. His breath misted in the air, ice crystals forming around him as he drew upon his magic. "What do you mean, claim your place?" he demanded, his voice steady and calm, a stark contrast to the biting wind. The spirit's eyes, like two chips of ice, narrowed. "We are tired of being ignored, of being pushed to the outskirts. The magic that fuels this town is as much ours as it is yours." Its gaze swept over the square, lingering on the Christmas tree. "We demand representation, a voice in the affairs of Merry Hollow." Jack's expression remained neutral, but his eyes sharpened, calculating. "And what makes you think you deserve such a privilege?" he asked, not unkindly, but with a firmness that brooked no nonsense. The spirit bristled, its form crackling with cold energy. "We are the essence of winter, the very heart of the season you claim to celebrate. Without us, there is no Merry Hollow." It gestured to the other spirits, their forms flickering with anticipation. "We have been patient, but no more. We want a seat at the table, or we will take what is rightfully ours." Holly watched the exchange, her heart pounding. She knew the spirits were right, they were as much a part of the town's magic as anyone else. But she also knew that giving in to their demands without careful consideration could lead to more chaos. She stepped forward, her voice steady despite the chill. "We understand your concerns, and we're willing to listen. But this isn't the way to go about it." Jack nodded, his gaze never leaving the spirit's face. "We need to find a solution that works for everyone," he said, his voice firm yet diplomatic. "But threats won't get us there. Let's sit down and talk, figure out a way to integrate your voices without disrupting the balance of the town." The spirit hesitated, its icy gaze flicking between Jack and Holly. The wind howled, whipping snow around them, but Jack stood his ground, his expression unyielding. After a moment, the spirit nodded, the tension in its shoulders easing slightly. "Very well," it said, its voice like the first crack of ice on a frozen lake. "We will talk. But know this, Jack Frost, we will not be silenced any longer." The wind whipped around them, carrying whispers of the spirit's long-held grievances. "We've been silenced, pushed aside for too long," one spirit hissed, its form a swirl of snow and ice. "The magic of Merry Hollow is unbalanced, and it's affecting us all. We can't remain invisible any longer." Holly's eyes widened, the Yule lodestone in her satchel pulsing with a soft, rhythmic glow, responding to the spirit's unrest. She stepped forward, her voice steady and clear against the howling wind. "We understand your concerns and we hear your voices. What if we formed a council? A place where each tradition has a representative, where we can discuss and address these imbalances together, in harmony." The tallest spirit, its eyes gleaming like shards of ice, considered her words carefully. "A council, you say? A seat at the table for each of us, where our voices will truly be heard." Holly nodded, her red curls bouncing with determination. "Yes. A chance to be heard, to work together to maintain the magical balance. But," she added, her voice firm yet compassionate, "it must be a collaboration. We can't have chaos and unreasonable demands. We need to find a way to coexist peacefully, to respect each other's traditions and powers." The spirits exchanged glances, their forms flickering with thought and a hint of hope. The tallest one turned back to Holly and Jack, its voice resonating like the first crack of ice on a frozen lake at dawn. "We agree, but on one condition: we want a say in all decisions affecting Mary Hollow's magic. No more secrets kept from us, no more silencing our voices. We must be equal partners in this." Jack's eyebrows raised, but he nodded slowly, understanding the gravity of their request. "That's fair. We need to build trust, and that starts with open and honest communication. We'll ensure every voice is heard and considered." He looked at Holly, a silent understanding passing between them. They turned back to the spirits, their voices united in resolve. "We'll make it happen. We'll find a way to integrate you into the town's governance and future plans." The spirits' forms softened, the harsh wind dying down to a gentle, peaceful breeze. The tallest one extended a hand, a symbol of their new alliance and trust. "Then we have an accord. We will join this council and work together for the good of all, for the harmony of Mary Hollow and its magical traditions." Holly and Jack each took the spirit's hand, their grips firm and sure. The deal was struck, the first step towards a more balanced, more united Mary Hollow. As they released hands, the lodestone's glow steadied, its pulsing light a beacon of hope in the cold night. The spirits dispersed, their forms melting into the cold night air, leaving Holly and Jack alone in the square. The first snowflakes of the season began to fall, dancing in the glow of the town's lights. Holly turned to Jack, her green eyes reflecting the soft luminescence of the lodestone. "We did it," she said, her breath visible in the chilled air. A small smile played on her lips, relief evident in the subtle relaxation of her shoulders. Jack mirrored her expression, his ice-blue eyes warm with shared accomplishment. "We did," he agreed, reaching out to tuck a stray curl back into her ponytail. His fingers lingered, brushing against her cheek. "Together." Holly leaned into his touch, her gaze drifting to the falling snow. "It's beautiful," she murmured. "Like a fresh start." Jack followed her gaze, his arm wrapping around her shoulders. "It is," he said, pulling her close. "And tomorrow, we'll take another step towards unity." Across the town, residents began preparations for the council meeting. Lights flickered on in windows, casting warm hues onto the snow-kissed streets. The scent of pine and peppermint wafted through the air as candles were lit and decorations adjusted. A hum of anticipation buzzed through Mary Hollow, a mix of excitement and apprehension. In the town hall, Brigadier Nutcracker directed a team of helpers, arranging chairs in a circle around the towering Christmas tree. He paused, looking out at the square where Holly and Jack stood. A rare smile softened his wooden features before he turned back to his task, barking orders with renewed vigor. Back in the square, Holly and Jack stood in comfortable silence, watching the snowflakes mingle with the town's lights. Their breaths synchronized, puffs of white mist rising in the cold air. They looked at each other, a shared understanding passing between them. They had made progress, and tomorrow, they would face whatever came next, side by side. As the snow began to accumulate, blanketing the cobblestones in white, Holly and Jack turned towards the town hall. Hand in hand, they walked away from the square, their footprints marking a path of unity and hope. The lodestone's glow pulsed gently in Holly's satchel, a beacon of their cautious optimism for the council meeting ahead.